College basketball season is right around the corner, so today I'm doing my first conference outlook of the Big Ten. I'm going to be going over my conference champion prediction, my first team All Big Ten, Player of the Year, and Freshman of the Year predictions. So please follow along and give me your predictions down in the comments. Alright, so here's my tier list of Big Ten teams this year. The top 4 teams are teams I think are most likely to win the conference. The next 4 teams are teams that have a chance. And then middle of the pack, I think a very slim chance to win. If not, could be a bracket team. And then bottom, I just don't think they're going to have much success this year. So the top 4 teams, I think, are easily the front runners. You got Purdue with Braden Smith, Trey Kaufman around best duo in basketball, and you're bringing in Oscar Clough from San Diego State, and you're also bringing in the freshman CJ Cox. So I think they're going to have a lot of talent. Oscar Clough's going to mix perfectly in that pick and roll situation with Trey Kaufman and Braden Smith for a lot of dump offs. I see them as the front runner for the Big Ten. Now, Michigan, they have a top 3 transfer class in the nation, and I think with that much talent, I find it hard for you not to be a contender. So I think Dusty May, if he gets those boys right, keeps turnovers low with Elliot Cadeau, he can find Adi Mara, Yaxel, and Merez Johnson, and I think they have a great chance to win. Now, UCLA, Michigan State, you're bringing back both teams bringing back 2 veteran guards in Sky Clark for UCLA, Jeremy Fears, Michigan State. I think UCLA has the best transfer in the nation with Donovan Dent, in my opinion, and I think they have a great chance to win. And they would be my pick if they were not playing across the country on Wednesday nights. So my pick to win the conference is Purdue. Now, I think it's going to be another year where in the Big Ten where there could be a 4-way tie with any team from my front runner tier to all the way down to my middle of the pack. I think it's going to be a really deep conference again with 10 bracket teams. For my next tier, I think all 4 of those teams have a very slim chance to win. Oregon, you're bringing back Jackson Shelstead and Nate Biddle, which is the second best duo in this conference. Nate Biddle, the best shooter, big guy shooter in the conference. So I see them have a great chance to make some noise. USC, you got Chad Baker-Mazara coming. The Must Bus, I think, will start rolling again this year. Last year they struggled a little bit, but I think you have a lot of veteran leadership coming in and some good transfers. So Illinois and Ohio State, you're both teams bringing back a veteran point guard and Kylan Boswell for Illinois. Bruce Thornton, senior year, I think he's going to be a contender for first team All Big Ten. So I see both of those teams also making damage, and I think they could have a long shot if they win some big away games late in February and into March. Now, the only teams in the middle of the pack that I think have a chance to win would be Iowa and Washington. Iowa bringing in Coach Ben McCollum from Drake and Bennett Sturts, who is a top 10, top 15 player in the country. I think they have a chance to be good, but first year Ben McCollum in a new conference, the Big Ten, one of the best conferences in the nation, I don't see them winning. I think they'll definitely be a bracket team, though. And Washington, I think, is going to have a great rise this year. They're obviously one of the worst teams of the Big Ten last year. I think they'll be a lot better bringing in Desmond Claude, who was the leading scorer for USC last year. I think he's going to have a great season. They have a lot of veteran leadership, so I think they have a great chance to make the tournament and be a dark horse team in this conference. Now, for my first team All Big Ten, it's pretty obvious for most of them. They have some of the best players in the country. I have Braden Smith, Donovan Dent, Bennett Sturts, Trey Kaufman-Renn, and Nate Biddle to close it out. I think those are 5 of the best players in the country. Braden Smith and Trey Kaufman-Renn, I don't see a timeline where they aren't first team All Big Ten, and I think it's going to be pretty smooth sailing for most of these guys. Now, some honorable mentions that could also make it. Yaxel Lindenborg from Michigan, transfer from UAB. I think he is one of the most skilled players in the Big Ten, and as long as they can get him the ball and get a lot of spacing, I think he easily could be on this and easily could even win Player of the Year in the conference. Nick Martinelli from Northwestern, Jackson Shelstead, Bruce Thornton, even Tucker DeVries from Indiana. I think any of those guys have a chance to be on here. Tucker DeVries, first year with his dad over at Indiana, though. I don't see them being amazing, but he has a chance to score a lot of points and get him down the court as long as his guards can take care of the ball. I just don't see him doing as good as he was at Drake and West Virginia. I know he suffered an injury last year, but I think if they can keep turnovers low and get him the ball, he has a chance. Now for my Freshman of the Year award, I'm going Darius Adams from Maryland. I think he has one of the best roles from any freshman in this conference. He's going to be starting at shooting guard, bearing his injury. Miles Rice will feed him the ball. I think they're going to play really well off each other. He's going to get a lot of shots, and I think he is going to be a big role in that Maryland team that has a chance to make the tournament this year again. Buzz Williams, we've seen him make a lot of guards that have a high percentage shot, and I think he's going to do that again with Darius Adams. So other players that could win it, Trey McKinney, Caden Mingo, probably the front runner. That's what most people are picking from Penn State. But I think Darius Adams will have the biggest role, so that's my choice. Now, for my player of the year in the conference, I think it's pretty obvious. He won last year, Braden Smith. I mean, he is the best point guard in the nation, best passer. He can shoot amazing. I just don't see a world where he doesn't win unless someone else rises from nowhere and has a season like he had last year. I think him and Trey Kaufman are going to dominate this year, and that's why Purdue is also my pick to win the Big Ten. Now, I think Bennett Sturts is the second best chance to win just because what he did last year on Drake and in March Madness. I think he always has a chance to win an award and bring his team success. So Braden Smith, then Bennett Sturts. Those would be my top two picks, but Braden Smith, in my opinion, will be back-to-back Big Ten Player of the Year. Thank you for watching. Please go subscribe to my YouTube. It's under the same handle, Bracket Chase with Jace. I'm trying to build a following on there as well. That's where I'm going to be posting my longer videos, sort of like this, but maybe over 10 minutes. And then once the season gets into shape, I'm going to be doing some podcasts. So please go subscribe to that. Please like, comment, and repost this video. And thank you for watching.